All right, let's dive in. Money. It's a huge part of our lives, right? But for so many of us, it's also a massive source of stress. So in this explainer, we're going to strip away all that complexity. We're going to get down to the simple, powerful ideas that can totally change how you think about your finances. Let's do this.
I mean, it's a question that really hits home, doesn't it? We're all worrying about bills, or maybe saving for a house, or just, having enough for whatever comes next. But what if I told you the problem isn't actually the money? What if it's all about how we've been taught to think about it?
Okay, this right here, this is probably the biggest mindset shift you can make. Seriously, money isn't the end goal. It's not the finish line. It's just a tool. Think of it like a hammer or a wrench. When you use it right, it can build you a life with way more freedom, a real sense of security, and just more options.
It's so easy to fall into that trap of thinking, oh, if I just made more money, everything would be fine. We've all been there. But here's the truth. That's not where real financial success comes from. It starts with your habits, the small, smart things you do consistently with whatever you've got right now.
So, that brings us to our first big idea, earning. And look, this isn't just about your job. It's about how you think about making money. So how do we stop just trading hours for dollars and start, actually increasing our earning potential in a much smarter way?
Okay, so look at these two paths. On the left, you've got the default approach for most people. Just work more hours, take on another shift, get a side hustle. But that's a trap, right? There's a hard ceiling. You only have 24 hours in a day. Now look at the path on the right. This is about building valuable skills. This path has no ceiling. You're not working more. You're making your time worth more.
And we're not talking about just any skills. These are the real game changers. Things like communication, being able to get your point across clearly, that opens up so many doors. Problem solving, becoming the person who can fix things, you become essential. And of course, technology. In the world we live in now, that's a huge advantage. The cool part is, when you really focus on building these, the money just kind of follows.
All right, let's talk about spending. This is the one, isn't it? This is where, for a lot of us, the money just seems to vanish into thin air. But the good news is, with a few simple tweaks in our thinking, we can absolutely get a handle on it.
And let me be super clear about this. Smart spending is not about depriving yourself. It's not about saying no to everything fun. It's the exact opposite, actually. It's about being intentional. It's about you being in the driver's seat, making choices that actually line up with what you want instead of just, spending on autopilot.
So here's a super practical little trick to help you build that intention. Before you hit that Buy Now button or pull out your card, just take a breath and ask yourself these three things. 1. Do I actually need this? 2. Can I really afford this without it causing me any stress? And 3, this is the kicker, will I even care about this in a few weeks? Honestly, just that little pause, it can save you so much money.
Okay, now we're getting to what might be the most powerful financial habit of them all. Seriously, we're talking about saving. This is where you start building real security. This is where you find that financial peace of mind.
So let's redefine saving right now. A lot of people hear saving and they think being cheap or missing out. But that's all wrong. Saving is an act of optimism. It's you saying, I believe in my future. It's you taking care of the person you're going to be, setting yourself up for awesome opportunities, and building a safety net for when life happens.
And this is where most of us get it backwards. Look at the left side. Earn, spend, and then hope to save whatever's left. The problem? There's almost never anything left. But now look at the right, the effective way. You earn, you immediately save a piece of it, and then you spend what's left over. You pay your future self first. It seems like a tiny change, but trust me, this simple flip in the order changes absolutely everything.
So, when you put all these pieces together, smarter earning, intentional spending, and saving first, you start to build this incredibly strong foundation. This is how you take back control. This is the real path to getting rid of that money stress we all hate.
And here is the secret ingredient that makes it all work. It's not about how much money you have. It really isn't. It's about time. Time is like a superpower for your money. You don't need to start with a lot. The most important thing is just to start. Because even small amounts, when you give them enough time, can grow into something truly amazing.
When you boil it all down, it really comes down to these three things. First, discipline. That's just doing what you said you would do, even on days you don't feel like it. Second, awareness. That's being intentional with your choices instead of living on autopilot. And third, consistency. Just showing up and repeating those good habits day in and day out. That's the whole magic formula right there.
Look, the goal here isn't to go home and change your entire life overnight. That's overwhelming and it never works. The goal is to start small. So my question for you is this. After everything we just talked about, what is one tiny habit you can start today? Not tomorrow, today. Because that one little step, that's how this whole journey to financial freedom actually begins.